Hey everyone, welcome to the Next Ridge podcast brought to you by the North Idaho Experience. Have you ever wondered what it's like to fly into the backcountry and go hunting? We're going to talk about that today here in Idaho.
Let's get to it, man. This is we have a fun couple stories to talk about.
Yeah, so we're talking about the wilderness known as
Mr. Frank.
The Frank Church Wilderness, the River of No Return.
Yes. My favorite place, your favorite place in
I
Idaho.
love it, dude. I love it in there.
It's a very special place, near and dear to our heart. We have spent 2 years there back to back. This year we did not go.
Right.
But we'll be going back next year. So for our third time, my goodness. So where should we start, man? You want to start with how it all stemmed, like how we got there and heard about it,
how we found out, and how we were initiated into the Frank Church.
Let's talk about that, man.
Cool.
Let's go back.
Yeah. So 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago now.
Yep.
Our friend Matt here from the area, his son drew a sheep tag in the Frank Church, and he invited John and I to go along with him. And
why did he bring us?
For the life of us, we couldn't figure out why he was going to fly us with him into the backcountry and do this crazy thing that we thought, like, this is nuts. Like, we're flying in on a sheep hunt. Like, this is nuts.
And we're spending 15 days out there. I'll let you know that. We're like, oh yeah, we could do that. You know, it's August.
Yeah.
And the first week we're not going to even be hunting anything, primarily just scouting. But we figured out why he did bring us. He's like, with your medic background.
Yep.
And then my grunt infantry packing weight, just strong infantrymen.
He was like, well, I brought you because you have medical knowledge and can probably handle yourself in a situation like this if something bad were to happen.
Yep.
He's like, and I brought John because he's a mule.
Yep, he can pack weight.
He'll carry anything and go anywhere. So I was like, dang it, he got us. But it was awesome.
It was such an experience, man.
Man, 15 days was a long time to spend in the backcountry. But
it actually took us, so a little bit about the sheep hunt. So we flew in August. This is 2023, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so we flew in. And our first day, I think we only made it like 5 miles in, set up camp. And this is where I realized I forgot a major part. So before we even left, we did layouts, just like the military. You always do a layout before mission, make sure you got everything. Yeah. And I did plenty of layouts. I did 3 different layouts. However, when I got to our first camp, I was going through my meals and I'm looking for my lunches. And I couldn't find my lunches, so I took my pack out again and went through everything again. I didn't have any lunches. So what had happened, I forgot 1,000 calories. I was planning on doing 3,000 calories a day for 15 days, and I ended up at 2,000 calories a day because I forgot my lunches at the house. That was a rookie mistake, man. That sucked.
Yeah, dude, that was rough. And I then counted my calories and realized that I was at only about 2,000 calories.
Yeah, we were sucking. I was like, hey, Austin, guess what? Tomorrow I get a beef stick.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I was splitting my load, dude.
It was so funny because it's funny when you're in the backcountry like that, or just anywhere where you don't have the amenities of like being able to run to the gas station or whatever, right? Yeah. And then you realize you don't have enough of something.
Right.
And you're like, okay, I have to ration this. Like just how basic life gets when you're up there.
Yep.
And you just have to survive.
It's survival, man. Yeah. It's the ultimate hunt. It's surviving. It's camping with your boys.
Yeah.
You know, you have to find water. You know, you got to conserve your food. You got to have shelter, the proper gear and all that. You know, you need to learn how to start fires and all that stuff.
It's work.
It's absolute work. It's legit hunting. And
especially
it's
like, you know, having to, in that scenario, we wanted to be up high. So we were up on the ridge. And water was the nearest water, which we had no idea was there until we got there.
Let's talk about that, man.
Yeah, so we fly in, awesome experience. Fly into the wilderness area. We land, and then it's time to start walking. Yeah. So we get on the trail, and
how heavy are our packs? Everyone's right around like 70, 80 pounds.
Yeah. It's close to that. Maybe I would say even closer to 80 to 90 pounds.
For sure,
especially after we put water in there.
Yep.
So yeah, we start moving, and you know, we're just kind of following the trail as it contours through these drainages and stuff, and these canyons, and we get to our first spot where we were down by the creek, and we set up there for the night, got some water, and then the next morning we're like, it's time to go up, like get some serious elevation gain. And we started off and things were good, and gosh, we made it from the bottom to the top in one day. It took us 3 days to get in there.
3 days to get to base camp, man.
So I guess I should preface this too, that Matt's son, who drew the tag, was
14
at the time. Yeah. So, and I've never seen some determination of a 14-year-old like that. That
was a stud.
Freaking impressive.
Yeah.
So we get up to the top, and now we get up to almost the top. Yeah. We get through these switchbacks and up like this really steep part. And we're going to have to camp out again for the night.
Water.
And we are out of,
we're
pretty much out of water. Like, we're not going to make it to the next spot without water. So Matt, and I'll say that Matt is a stud. He's a former Green Beret, been there, done that kind of guy, and an absolute unit of bird. Like, he goes, okay, well, I'm going to unload all my stuff. Oh yeah. We were at the bottom of the switchbacks, and he's like, okay, you guys haul my stuff up. I'll go back down. And he goes to get water. So me, you, and his son wake our way all the way up the switchbacks. And again, I made a rookie mistake of buying brand new insoles for my boots.
Oh, that's right, dude. I forgot about that.
Right before we went in.
Yeah.
And hadn't broken them in or anything, hadn't tried them out. And I'll tell you what, they didn't work. Like, my feet were so tight in my boots. And then especially after hiking, your feet swell.
Oh yeah.
So I spent the rest of the trip, I took my insoles out and hiked around the rest of the trip with no insoles in my boots. So my feet were already killing me. Anyways, we get up the switchbacks, and now like this weather's coming in. It's about to start raining.
Well, I had to go back down, and Zach had to go back down.
Oh yeah, you guys made
Matt's gear.
Yeah, you guys made 2 freaking trips.
Yeah,
I only did the one.
So I go down there, and I'm sucking, dude. Like, I'm really low on water, and I ended up just taking a little nap underneath this log to get out of the sun. And I'm laying there, and then all of a sudden I hear something moving pretty quick. I'm thinking bear, because obviously a lot of bear in that area. Yeah. But I look up, and it's Zach, and he's already down. I'm like, damn, how did you're catching up to me, dude? That's impressive. And I'm here to grab Matt's stuff and put it in my pack, right? And Zach's like, no, dude, just take that little bit of my dad's stuff. I'm gonna grab the whole pack. I'm like, dude, so he grabbed his gun, he grabbed his dad's entire pack. Yeah. Dude, that was like 90 pounds. The kid went back up again, 14, dude. It was so impressive. Yeah.
I was very, very impressed. Yeah. And then so we get up top and still haven't seen Matt yet. So we're like, okay, well, we're going to set up camp here. That was kind of the plan. Yep. So we get everything camp set up, and now we're just kind of waiting out the weather and waiting for Matt to get back up here with the water. And then, like, I don't know how to explain it. It was the most surreal thing.
Dude, like, it was getting dark.
It was getting dark.
Windy,
rainy. And here comes Matt, just at like
little headlamp on.
Just like a nice brisk walk.
Yeah.
And and like, he gets up to us and he offloads all his stuff, and he's just like, that sucked.
Yep.
But like, he just put his head down and kept working, and oh God, it was so cool. And so yeah, now we have water, and we spend another night, and we're only, I don't know, maybe halfway in at this point.
Yeah, I think we had about 4.5 miles to go still. Yeah. And that third day, oh man, dude, that third day, like we knew we were getting close, but it just it felt like it was taking forever. And then it was, granted, this is August.
Yeah, so it's hot.
It's really hot. It's sunny. And then when we get to, that false summit, remember that, dude? Yeah. I thought we were there.
That broke me.
Yeah, false summit, that dude.
So that, from that point where we woke up that morning and hiked, I mean, it wasn't that bad.
No.
Like, the hiking was not that bad.
No.
But now we're 2 days into it, and we're pretty gassed, because it takes your body a few days to acclimate to the hiking. Carrying that weight.
Yeah, and we're like 9,000 feet almost.
Yeah. And so I'm looking at the map and I'm like, okay, we just got like, we're almost there, dude. We're almost there. And so Matt and his son stayed back at one of the spots we stopped for like lunch or whatever. We're like, we're gonna take a little break. We're gonna take it super easy today because Zach was hurting. You know, obviously the dude put in some freaking work the day before, and so then we you and I kind of stepped off to get there and to try and find water. So Matt had a point that he had scouted of a spring.
He scouted
a spring, and the dude. I mean, he did his due diligence on that hunt, like the amount of a lot of homework.
Yep.
And so he's like, I've been told there's water here. I think there's a good possibility there's water here, but there might not be. So then you and I are on our way there, and we go up this one, and we gain like 600 feet of elevation through these little, kind of like this little switchback thing. And I'm thinking like, once we get to that, we're at the top, and it's hot. I'm getting sunburnt. Like it is warm. And I'm running out of water now. And we got over that, and I remember seeing the next one, and I was like, dude, no way.
Yeah.
Like, and I started getting in my own head, right? I'm like, my fear kind of came in, like, we're so far from water right now. I'm almost out.
We don't even know if we have water.
We don't know if there's water up there.
Yeah.
I'm dehydrated, getting sunburnt, and like, I'm like, this is dangerous. Like, we shouldn't do this. And like all this, like
the side of you I've never seen.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. And like, I started kind of getting worried about our safety. But that's where it's cool to have a partner with you to push you further. Cause I just started getting freaked out a little bit. And you're like, dude, no, it's okay. We're going to be fine.
We're good. I got a liter of water still. We're good.
We got water. We just got to make it up this. And we're going to find water up there. It's going to be fine. I'm like, all right. So we freaking did. We got up there, and then we looked at the map where the water was, and we're like, son of a bitch.
Yeah, we're going down again.
We're going down.
Luckily, we didn't have to bring our packs.
No, right.
We offloaded them.
We offloaded everything, and just stuff to carry water.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like what?
1,000 feet, dude.
1,000 feet down.
In like half a mile. Yeah, dude,
yeah.
It was steep, bro.
So dumb.
Oh my gosh, dude.
And yeah, so we ventured on down there with the hope that we'll find this. And sure enough, you just look where it's super green, and got close to that pin, and we found this little, like a waterfall, like a water fountain, like in a school.
Yes.
Like that's what was coming out of it.
Perfect way, dude. Perfect way to describe that water.
Yeah. And then there was a piece of tin that somebody had left there. So we like makeshift put the tin in there to kind of let it pour off so you can fill everything up. And then, oh my gosh, how long did it take us? It took us
like 3 hours.
3 hours to fill up all our water.
Yeah, and we had to do that. We had to drop down every 2 to 3 days to fill up water, depending on how much work we put in.
Yep.
So that was rough, man. But that's the beauty of it, man. Because it's like it's legit survival, man. It's legit hunting. It's special. It sucks every single time going down there.
Dude, you dread it. And you made a ton of trips down there. You almost made every trip.
Every trip except you guys told me I could stay back on the last one.
I know, because like we were trying to do this like alternate thing where someone wasn't going all the time, but John was like, just I'll go.
Yeah, I got it.
He was here for it, man. But you were
I had
also
to look out for you, man. You had no souls,
dude. You're a mountain goat in the woods, though. Like in the mountains, you freaking move. You might have a little Afghani in you.
It could be.
Just the way
I could see that.
Yeah, like
just climb.
John should never be in the front.
I can't sit still either.
No.
I know, it's a problem.
I know.
I see a ridge. I got to go to it.
We'll start hiking off in the morning, and if I try to keep up with John, like I might as well. It could be negative 20 degrees, and I should start in a t-shirt because of when I try to keep up with you.
Every time you start so hot, I'm like, bro, start cold. That's the number one rule in hiking and hunting. Always start cold because you're going to warm up so quick.
I know. And
especially out west.
Yeah. And
then in the Midwest, it's completely different.
Yeah. And then myself, especially, like I run really hot.
You do.
And so like,
I know that. I know you run hot.
Thank you. But anyways, yeah. So we found water, and Matt was up top. They had finally made it up, and we were nowhere to be found when we got up there.
Yeah.
And he was just like praying that we were going to come back up with water, and we did. And he's like, just like you could see the
relief,
weight
man.
lift off his shoulder. Because now we were up where we were setting up base camp. Like we were in where we wanted to be.
Because we're on a sheep hunt. We have to be high. We got to be as high as you can. And otherwise, if we did not find water, we were dropping, 6 miles down?
Yeah, at least.
To get water?
Yeah. And
that's just, you can't sustain that.
No, you can, I mean, no, that's just too far.
It's too much. Yeah.
Yeah. So when we spent the next
15 days out there, man.
Yeah. Well, we would have been
that was
12 days.
Yeah. 12 days up there.
Yeah.
Lost my binoculars down the mountain.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Shout out to Vortex.
Yeah. Thank you, Vortex. I did find them. That was such a funny thing, dude. I think that was day 11, I believe. Yeah, that was that day we pushed off like 7 miles from base camp. And yeah, I was out there. So funny. I'm just sitting there, like I had my shirt off and all that. I'm just getting nice and tan and just looking for these sheep. And I have my tripod, and I just turned my tripod because I had those little what do you call those little things? Little bungee guns.
We didn't have the we didn't have the mount anymore. Yeah.
No, so I just had the bungee cords, and I just turned it down, just to angle a little further down that drainage, and they just tumbled off, dude. I just watched those things tumble, and I'm like, oh my gosh, they're gone. But I'm like, I have no glass. I have a spotter, but the spotter's out of commission right now because the rain.
Had it had that moisture.
So I had no glass. I'm like, well, I'm out here for another 3-4 days, so I need glass. So I'm like, I got nothing better to do. So I walked my ass all the way down that treacherous freaking shale, bro, and I found them.
I know that is.
It was crazy.
The craziest part to me that you found.
They were really jacked up, but I was able to use them for the remainder of the hunt.
Yeah. And sent them back into Vortex, and they sent you a brand new pair.
Yeah, but we did come across some sheep. Again, this is 2023. We came across some sheep. Never found a shooter. Austin and I did have bear tags as well. That's a funny story. Austin was watching a bear for like a week, and because we were out there before hunting season started, a week before the season opened for bear and sheep, right?
Yep. Yeah, they opened on the same day.
So the day that you've been watching this bear for pretty much a week.
Yeah, the better part of the week.
Big bear too, really nice bear.
Giant.
And then Matt gave us the okay to go out there and go hunt it because we've been.
Well, yeah, because like the first day, the opening day of the season, I was like, I'm not going to shoot a bear the first day when we're supposed to be here for sheep.
Right.
Like this bear can wait.
Yeah.
He was on the same hillside every day in the same flipping spot. And I'm like, he'll be there.
Yeah.
So opening day comes, I go out there. I didn't bring my gun or anything. I just walked out because we're looking for sheep. And he was there. And then the next day, I was like, hey, Matt, like, you cool with that? He's like, yeah, kill it.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, sweet. And so then I hiked back out there, and he was gone.
Elk moved in,
and that bear was nowhere to be found. We looked for him too. Like we ran that ridge and looked in every drainage.
Yeah.
We found a bunch of elk,
ton of elk,
but no bears. And
that's how it goes, man. For us,
hindsight, that would have been a treacherous pack out.
Oh, dude, that would have been so bad.
At that point, we were 12 miles from the airstrip. And he was a big bear, and we still had camp and everything. Ooh, that would have been a brutal.
It would have been so bad.
But
yeah, and then we oh my gosh, to finish up that hunt. Remember my finger?
Oh my gosh.
So I was bored one day. Austin, Matt, and Zach are chilling, and they're on a what do you call them? Band of.
Yeah, we had found a band of rams. Yeah.
And but I'm over on like this. I don't know. I'm down the ridge from you guys, about a mile or something by myself, and I got so bored, dude. I spent all day out there.
Yeah,
literally
by yourself.
Yeah, from sun up to sundown. I spent all day by myself chilling. I got so bored. I'm just sitting there, I'm like looking at my hands because it's like day 12, day 13, and I'm just disgusting because we haven't showered in almost 2 weeks, and so I started cleaning my nails with my knife. Well, I got a little too carried away, and I went under my cuticle with my knife. Didn't think of anything of it. But on our last day packing out, we hiked out for 10 miles that day.
Yeah, and, we did the whole thing all the way down.
In rain, the entire time it rained.
The whole time.
It was horrible. Yeah. But by the time we got back to the airstrip and got camp set up, my finger.
John's finger was infected.
Really bad. It was the most painful. Dude, it was so bad. It was so painful. I literally wanted to cut this thing off. I was so close to cutting it off. It was
I thought
that
you
bad.
were gonna.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna.
I could not sleep. It was bad. Anyways, finally healed.
Yeah.
And then we decided to go back. We loved it so much. like we're going back next year, but for mule deer.
Yeah. So that's when then we got hooked on it.
Yeah.
I mean, shout out to you guys, you sheep hunters out there. You guys are a different breed.
I kind of want to do it.
Yeah. I don't want to go there again though, where we were. I'd rather, if I'm going to put in for
11.
a sheep. Yeah. If I'm putting in for a sheep tag, I'm going to go for a sheep tag where like, I still want to work for it.
Yeah.
Like I want to put in the work for it, but I want it to be a good tag.
Right.
The tag that Matt actually had the next year, and his son had that tag.
Oh, that's right.
It is a good tag, but it's one of the hardest. It's one of the hardest tags to fill.
Yep.
Just because that general area, there's not a large population of sheep. There are sheep that come through there. It's near a migration area, but they're just, the opportunity is a lot lower to get like a mature ram in there.
Yep.
But yeah, and the cool thing about like any of those tags here in Idaho is that if it's a once in a lifetime tag for a resident, but if you don't fill it, you can put in again.
Yeah. So
like you don't have to. It's not like you draw it once and if you don't fill it, that's it. You can still. I mean, depending on the tag though, like some of them you might spend 10 years waiting to draw, and you finally draw it, and you may never draw it again.
Yeah.
But that's kind of the risk you take. But at the end of the day, you draw a tag like that, you're trying to find a mature animal.
Right. Do you know what the most sought after tag in Idaho is? For sheep, we know it's 11.
11, yeah.
11, but for like anything. Like I guess pretty much everybody out here is a big elk hunter.
Yeah.
Do you know what unit that is? It's got to be by Utah, right?
Yeah, it's down on the Utah. I think it's I can't remember what unit it is.
60 something.
Yeah, it's down in that corner, bordering Utah.
Yeah.
But that's a really coveted tag. I can't remember what the name of the unit is or the zone, but
I can't either.
That one's good, yeah.
But
the cool thing about Idaho too is we have, so not only, you get once in a lifetime for sheep, goat, moose. Yeah.
A swan.
A swan. That's once in a lifetime.
I don't know. I would never want to shoot a swan. They're so beautiful.
They're super pretty. Well, our buddy did. That thing was, Clancy drew.
Oh
that
yeah,
tag.
that's right.
Yeah. That was sweet. That thing was so cool. But yeah, sheep. Yeah. It's sheep, goats, and moose.
Right.
Or once in a lifetime.
Yep.
Yeah. So, man, the sheep, there's a lot of good units. That's a tough one to put in for, especially if you want to draw like a good area.
Right.
Same with the goats. Honestly, because I'm trying to think of.
I think Scotchman's gives one, right?
I think there's one that goes
one tag
up there. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're always there.
Oh yeah. They're goats everywhere up there.
Yeah. If you want to do a fun hike, do Scotchman's Peak.
Yeah. That one's cool.
That's a great one.
The goat tag. There is some down in the Frank. Because there's goats.
Oh, we saw some down. Yeah, we did.
Oh yeah, dude, we saw a huge.
That was a big one.
Billy. Yeah, that was cool. And he was not where you would ever think a goat would be.
Dude.
Even Matt was like, and Matt's hunted goats, and he's like, I cannot believe that thing is over here.
Yeah.
But anyways, the cool thing is you have those, but you can also put in for the super tags.
Yes.
And the super tag is cool as far as like elk and deer go.
Yeah.
Because if you draw the super hunt, you can go any unit, any weapon.
Starting September,
yeah.
Yeah.
So you could go
for August 30th, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So like you could go to any unit with any weapon. So you could go hunt in one of the most primo units in Idaho for elk with a rifle during September.
Right.
And same with deer. You can, I mean, you'd want to do that during the rut anyways.
For sure.
I don't know. It'd be cool to go early and find a giant velvet muley.
Oh, it'd be so cool, man.
But anyways, yeah. So those are options that we have here in Idaho too. So
a lot of options, a lot of predator options too. We got wolf tags, you got cougar tags, bear tags. So
yeah,
a lot of options, a lot of hunting to be done here in the state.
Yeah. So fast forward, John and I were like, man, that place is so wild and so cool.
Yeah.
We both, and even Matt, the similarities between that and Afghanistan
So
were
similar, man.
so crazy.
Matt's
dude.
like, don't go crazy on me, John.
Yeah, John.
Don't go crazy on me.
Matt's worried about John losing his mind.
It literally looks like Afghanistan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially like the Northeast where I was up in Kunar. It looks just like it. It's crazy. It's so beautiful up there.
Wild.
But yeah, we decided to go back and in 2024, and we actually brought along 2 buddies of ours, and this was their first ever hunt, like backcountry hunt.
Yeah.
And
dude,
man,
it is it was cool because when we started looking into it, when we were after we went in there with Matt and we were talking to him, and we're like, you know what, this isn't that far out of reach. You know, I always thought doing a fly-in hunt into the back, like, it's going to be expensive. Like, you can't do that. Like, how am I going to do that? Like, and then we started looking into it, and it's honestly, if you do your research, dig into it, you can find there's plenty of places you can fly from to go into the Frank Church. You can boat in, you can horseback in there, you can, and then fly in is the other way.
Yep. You could hike in if you wanted
to. You could. And I know there's people that do, that probably live closer to that area and know it a little bit better. But so we started doing our research because we had heard that there's, we started digging into mule deer tags in there, what the mule deer hunting was like, because we were a little thrown off when we were in there sheep hunting because we didn't see any mule deer.
Right. But we're also there.
We were there early
August and early September.
Exactly. Yeah. And so what that place is it's a migration corridor. So you get come October, November, you get all these deer migrating through there. And so we started looking at that and we're like, man, this could be a lot of fun. And then so we're like, okay, we put in for the tag. So it's a draw tag for residents, but it's an unlimited draw. Non-residents, I still think it's pretty good odds to get the tag. And you'll have to do your own research on that. But it was very obtainable. As we started planning this, we're like, okay, this is sweet. Now the initial workup and the first time you do it, right, that's going to be the most expensive. Yeah. Because the gear. Yeah. Like you got
ultralight, man. You need ultralight.
Light stuff. You need and honestly, this is where gear makes a huge difference. And like, I like gear. I'm kind of a gear junkie.
Yes.
I like to have nice stuff. And it pays off.
It does.
It does. Cause like when you get back in there and you have no other option, but what you brought, you want it to be quality. So we started, diving into that, new bags, new tent, a stove tent. We tried that for the first time. And, man, it was awesome.
We needed it, man.
Yeah.
It got cold there. It's snowing that time of year. It's, you got to have that stove tent.
Yeah. So we flew in with our 2 buddies who, didn't have that much experience with that kind of hunt. And our only really experience was the year before with Matt, but I think we had we learned so much.
Yeah, we had half a month.
We spent 15 days in there. We learned exactly what we needed, what we didn't need.
Yeah.
And you always end up bringing stuff that you don't need. I haven't totally perfected that yet. I was like, man, I didn't even use this thing, and I carried it around with me the whole time. But we flew in, and our initial plan was we were going to go from the airstrip. We wanted to get away from the airstrip. So what we noticed a lot of people do on that hunt is they'll fly in a wall tent and like all these nice amenities.
Wood.
That was, we overlooked that. Because like the last time we were in there, we didn't need to make fires. It was warm enough.
Yep.
And so we get in there. And I'm sorry. So what they do is they'll fly all this stuff out and they'll just set up a big base camp there. And now it's really all what you want to make of it in the Frank, right? Like you can kind of make it either. Regardless, you're in the backcountry. Once you're at the airstrip, like it's remote. Like
there's nothing out there.
There's nothing out there.
You're literally in the wild.
Yeah, but you can make it pretty much what you want. Like you could stay at the airstrip if you want. And I know a lot of guys that do that. Or, you can go spike out, which that's what our plan was. And, I built all these routes and did all this e-scouting and, or I should say we all did. We all kind of took a chunk and we're like, hey, just find these certain features and look for this stuff and how we can get there. And it's funny when you look on it, when you're e-scouting and you're like, oh, like you build the route and you're okay, I'm going to go from here to here.
Yeah, we can go there.
Yeah, no problem. And then when you show up and you're like, holy, you forget how steep and rugged it is in there.
Dude, you got to be in shape, man. You got to be in shape for this hunt. And we learned quick.
Yeah. So, oh gosh, we were, so we get to the airstrip, we pack up, and that's so funny. The night before, we're staying in town. We get a hotel because we're going to fly out the next morning. And so,
we're going to have an army way of doing this. Yeah, so in the army, a lot of times you go out to the bars, have a good time before big
FTX or something.
Yeah, exactly. Like we're going to have a good time. So we brought the boys downtown, and man, we got tore up. It was fun because we knew it wasn't like torn up.
Yeah, I would say we had a good time.
We had a great time.
But one of our buddies
doesn't drink
much and had a little bit more than he's used to. And so he's
between the plane ride.
Oh gosh, between the plane ride and everything, and now like breakfast the next morning was hilarious.
Oh, that was good breakfast though.
It was good breakfast. Yeah. And he goes out, throws up in the parking lot, and then we get to the airport, we load up, we fly in, and he's holding it together pretty well.
He's pretty white.
But yeah, he's looking pale. And we land, we get off the plane, and he immediately goes to the bushes and starts calling dinosaurs. Like he is just hurling.
Yeah.
It was so fun. Day one. And but yeah, so then we start hiking off, and
I think we had our goal was to go to the top that day.
Yeah, which I think was
it's like 3.5.
I thought it was more.
Was it
a
more
little
than
more than that? Yeah, it was like, I want to say it was closer to 4.5 miles.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, three to the bottom, and then 1.5 miles up.
Yep,
that's
pretty
what
much.
it was.
Yeah. And so we get to where we got to start climbing, and it's getting late, it's getting dark, and we're like, you know what, and our buddies were hurting a bit, and so we're like, okay, we'll just set up camp down here, and then we'll go up the next morning and check it out. And turns out we just ended up staying down there, kind of in the bottom, and hunted up for a couple days.
Yep.
And one of our buddies ended up getting a deer. It was his first deer.
Deer.
So he wasn't super picky. He just wanted to fill his tag in there, and so we hiked up into this big bowl. That was the day that you went up to the top, yeah.
Yeah. So let me backtrack a little bit. So the first day, actually it was our second day. This is when we made the climb up.
Oh yeah.
This is when we went all the way to the top, and we get to that spot and we glassed up that nice 7x7 bowl.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, hey, you told me go ahead and get to the top. You're just gonna hang back with Forrest and Lucas. And I'm like, that's cool. I'll get up to the top, start glassing, see if we can find some deer, get us on deer, whatever. So I get to the top. And I went through all the storms. I'm sure you did too. I went through rain, went through sleet, went through snow. I'm up there. I actually made a lean-to because I was pretty wet. All my gear was getting wet. I didn't bring my little backpack cover, the pack cover. So I made a lean-to, got a fire going with that pyro putty. Dude, that stuff works wonderful.
Yeah.
Had my flint going, dude. I had a nice fire going, waiting for you boys. And I'm like, gosh, like an hour goes by, a couple hours. I've been up there for like a couple hours now. And I'm glassing some bowls and all that, and I hear wolves go. It was freaking beautiful, man. It was a little eerie though. Hearing those wolves go down. But so then you guys show up, and I told you this is where we had coffee and all that. I'm like, bro, like you guys should just stay down there. We got like half an hour before dark.
I know.
But
we're determined to get up there.
You guys made it. And then I'm looking at my Onyx, the contour lines. I'm like, hey, I think I'm actually gonna run the ridge all the way back. And then cut down to camp, And Lucas is like, hey, John, can I come with you? I'm like, yeah, man, that's fine. Let's do it. It doesn't look, the contoured lines do not look too bad. They don't look like they're too close together. It's not too steep.
Yeah.
It looks fine. Yeah, let's just run this ridge. Maybe we'll pop some, see some deer. Maybe we'll get a shot off on a deer and all that. And so Lucas and I take off. I think it was like 3:45, close to 4. And we're running the ridge. And sure enough, we did get in the deer. Lucas wanted to take a shot on a nice deer, but it's like 500 and he wasn't comfortable with it. So we ended up pushing more down the ridge. And this is where the adventure really begins. It's getting dark out. Headlamps are on. We had about, probably a 2-mile walk on this ridge before we had to drop down. And now it's dark and I'm looking down to where we need to go. I'm like, my Onyx is Lucas. I'm like, this is going to suck, dude. You're going to have to just stay near me. Don't complain. It's going to be horrible. I don't want to walk back because we went through some really bad shale.
Yeah.
We both fell a couple times. It's really, really dangerous. And I'm like, this is like, for you people listening, it's like a double black diamond. If you've ever been to a ski resort, how steep it is, this was literally double black diamond and single diamond terrain that we were going down. And it's pitch black out. And all we have is our headlamps. And I remember just going down this thing, falling. And Lucas is way out behind me. He's yelling at me. He's like, John. I'm like, what? He's like, I keep falling. And I'm like, dude, I keep falling too, man. Like, you got to get down here though. It sucks, man. We got a ways to go still, but nobody's coming to save us.
Right.
It's just you and me, man.
Yeah.
We got to get down there.
Yeah.
And then another time he's like, John. I'm like, what? He's like, my legs aren't working, man. They're not moving. I'm like, dude, you got to move. I mean, and dude, he's like 100 yards or so behind me.
Yeah.
And all I see is his headlamp just falling, just in and out. And eventually he catches up to me, and it's actually on my phone. You've seen the video. Lucas is walking up to me, and it's dark out. All he sees is his headlamp. And I'm like, Lucas, guess what? And then he's like, what? And then he literally falls onto the ground, barrel, his gun goes straight into the earth and all that. I'm dying. But I looked down, I saw our camp. I saw your guys' lights on down there. And I'm like, bro, we're so close. Granted, eventually we got back to camp, but it took us 4.5 hours, dude. We left at right around 4 o'clock, but we didn't get back till 9 o'clock. It was 8:45.
Yeah. We were down there like looking at our watches like, oh man,
dude,
it was these boys are okay.
So bad, man. It was so dangerous. We were very lucky that we didn't hurt ourselves.
Yeah.
But yeah, then the next day, that's when I went back to the top because I knew there was some deer up there, but that's when you and Lucas and Forrest went off. Yeah. To bring us back to this, circle back to your story. Yeah.
So then we ventured up a different a drainage and canyon kind of thing and made our way up into this. This bowl was so badass. Like we got up there and like you get into it and you're just like, man, there's got to be deer up here. Well, I think if we had been there a little earlier, because we went on the trail on the little trail on the bottom, we ran past a kill site. And so we're like, somebody had already killed in there, and we're like, okay. So we go up, and it was super. I mean, look, it was great country, and sure enough, we did find deer, and we found a little buck, a little forky, and Luke was like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna kill that buck. I'm like, sounds good, dude. Hey, man, it's your tag, and if it makes you happy, I'm all about it. Because at this point, it's about the experience.
100%.
And I know you and I had a little different standard. We were looking for something a little bigger.
Yeah, snowline deer.
Yep, we were looking for something a little bigger up there. Mm-hmm. But he was just tickled to kill that deer, and it was so cool, man. I loved. It's so powerful being with somebody on that first experience, especially when it's that. We flew in, we hiked, and like what he went through the night before.
Oh my gosh,
and
man, yes.
He was just so happy, and we were all just happy for him, right? Because success, right? Yeah. And you're the only person that can measure that, right? Mm-hmm. You can't let anybody take that from you. So, yeah, he killed a deer up there, and we got that back, and then we kind of, I don't know. We weren't going to go camp up top, and you had kind of gone up there that day, and we're like, man, I don't know.
I saw that really nice buck.
Oh, that's right,
I saw a really nice, he was beautiful, man. It's probably pretty much the same as him.
Yeah.
Yeah, super dark chocolate tines and all that, but I just couldn't get a shot off. He was 300, but he hopped over that ridge. I never saw him again. But yeah, I came down that night, and I was enjoying. That's what I love about that place, man. It's so... I never feel scared out there being alone. I don't know what it is. I enjoy being alone, and I don't mind hunting alone. Yeah. And I'm just coming down the dark, man, and I'm like, a mile and a half away from you guys, just slowly rolling down. The stars are just beautiful. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I was just taking my time, man. At one point I sat on this little rock and I just looked out in the distance and it was just so beautiful. And I'm like, well, I should probably get to camp. The boys are probably like wondering where the hell I'm at. You know, it's been dark for how long now. And then I get down there and you guys got a fire going, bro. You guys are you got hard out. You guys are about to eat hard, dude. Yeah. And I'm like, dude, this is what it's all about, man. This is only day 3? Day 3, man. And we all came to a conclusion there, like, you know, this was fun, but I think we need to move to a different spot because that was really sucky terrain, dude. Like in order for us to have done it, you and me, we could have done it. We'd have been high and camped up on that ridge that we went, where I went. Yeah. Stayed high and then ran those ridges, right? Yeah. Right up in the snow line. But having those guys with having Forrest and Lucas with, I'm like, you know what? Let's go move to a different spot. Yeah. And it was awesome, man. Yeah. It was great. I'm glad we actually did because we had endless water. Yes. Right there. Yep. And great views. You know, and
it was awesome. And you know, it was a learning experience for us too. Like we're like, okay. And for those guys too, right? They tested themselves and their boundaries and they learned a lot from like what their limitations were. Right. Right. So so then we moved to the other spot and like you said, we had everything we needed there. Granted, we needed to hike every day to get high, to get where we needed to go. But that's all right. You know, that's what we're there for. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know what day it was that we had gone downriver.
Yep. That was day 4 or 5. Yeah. Day 4.
Day 4. Yeah. Cause then we went up the one side of the river, which is like the south side of the river. And we were glassing to the north on these north faces. And that's where hunting with you, man, it's so funny because like you said, you can't sit still.
I know. And so, I saw that beautiful mountaintop.
And he's like, I need to go there.
I know there's deer up there. I'm like, dude, I'm going to get that ridge. I'm going to glass with a beautiful buck. And then I'm going to come down and we're going to celebrate.
So John's like, hey, he's looking up at the top and he's like, hey guys, I'm gonna go check it out up there, see if I can get a better vantage point. So I'm just gonna go maybe halfway up and see what it's like. We're like, all right, dude.
That's exactly what I said.
All right, dude.
You'll see me. I'll have eyes on you the whole time.
Yeah. He goes up and we're like, oh, there he is. Cool. And he's looking around and then we're glassing on the other side and then I'm like, okay, I'll check on John again and he's gone. I'm like, huh. Oh, there he is. He's going up. He's going all the way up. Okay. Well, we'll see him at camp tonight. Yeah. And the other guys are like, oh, should we go with him? I'm like, he'll be all right. He'll be fine.
I got my whistle.
Yeah.
I don't have a garment in reach or anything. I got a whistle.
That's right. Yeah. You didn't have an in reach or anything.
That was stupid, man. That was really dumb.
And so while you were gone, I'd glassed up a really nice buck on the other side. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, sweet. I know where he's at. Yeah. So then we kind of moved down back towards camp and there's like this big opening, kind of like a big flat. And sure enough, there was deer on that too. And there was a buck on there that Forrest wanted to kill. He's like, yeah, I'm going to shoot that buck. I'm like, oh, cool. So he gets set up and we all get set up and get ready. He takes a shot and I mean, wide left, he missed. And I'm like, dude, you were way off. And he's like, okay. Dials in, gets all set up again, gets really comfortable. And he's like, I know my dope is right. Like, boom, fires another one. Wide left. I'm like, dude, something's messed up. You're missing left. He's like, okay. And it wasn't even a far shot, maybe 300 yards, maybe. And so then he takes another one. He missed, and he's like, and then the deer, you know, no more opportunities after that. And he's like, dude, I don't know what's going on with my rifle. I'm like, okay. So the next day, we get back to camp, and then you finally made it back to camp, and
no headlamp on.
Just
walking with the moon, baby.
Yeah, and I'm like, hey, dude, let's go up where I saw that deer. And so you and me and Lucas were going to take off because Forrest was going to stay back and try and figure out what's up. Because he was going to try and figure out what's going on with his rifle. And then so we start hiking off the next morning, and Lucas wasn't feeling good. He's coming down with something. He was just not well. Yeah. He made it maybe like, I don't know, a mile into it. Yeah. He was like, guys, I got to turn back. I don't feel good. Yeah. He's like, I don't feel good. And I'm like, all right, man, cool, dude. You got to take care of yourself, right? So then you and I go up.
Yeah, I just want everybody to know that this is a core memory of mine year's hunting experience. What Austin and I are about to talk. This is literally probably my favorite hunting experience I've ever been on.
Yeah.
It's about to get wild.
So anyways, so John and I take off and we are going up to where I saw that deer the day before. And kind of looking at the weather, looks like, we're going to get some weather once we get up there. So we keep going and man, I mean, we saw so many deer on the way up there.
Yep.
They were everywhere. Just, a bunch of does, yearlings, a couple little forkies, and we keep going. We finally we kind of bushwhacked off the trail, as we do.
Yeah. It looked good.
It did. It was super cool country.
It worked and it saved us some time, I think.
I think it did too. So, and it got us right to where we wanted to be. So we kind of cut up the ridge, get all the way up to the top, and then we just start kind of working the ridge to where I wanted to go to find this deer. And we get over there, and now this storm is about upon us, right? So we get to a spot where we can glass, where I saw him the day before, and we're going to kind of look at all this stuff to see if we can turn him up. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to hunker down because we're about to get snowed on, and I'm gonna eat my lunch. So I'm all set up, and I'm getting my ramen all heated up.
Funny, dude. Yeah, Austin's getting his ramen all heated up, and I'm like, I'm gonna go find this buck. I'm gonna go glass. I just want to go glass some stuff. Right?
Yeah, you went to the top to look over the other side.
Yeah. So I walked a little further up, and I just started glassing, and I'm looking down, and beautiful country. And this north-facing slopes. Northwest?
Yep.
Like northwest. Yep. And I look down in there. And I see some does. I'm like, oh, sweet does. And then all of a sudden I see a really nice buck. And I get my spotter on it. And I just come running back to you. I'm like, Austin, grab your gun. Big buck. And you're sitting there. You're like, you got your like ramen like almost open.
I haven't even opened. Yeah.
You're looking at me like, what? I'm like, grab your gun.
Oh, I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah. Sweet. And so I grab my stuff and go up to where he found the deer and get eyes on it. And I was like, dude, that's the buck. That's the deer from yesterday.
So Austin says. I'm just kidding.
I'm just kidding. It was because he had that tall sword on the one side. He didn't split off on that one side. I'm like, dude, that's him. And he's like, dude, fuck.
Yeah, get
kill
it, baby.
Him, dude, kill him. And so, man, we could not have been set up in a better shooting position. Right at the top, good, stable. I was able to lay down, get my gun in a good spot, and I'm getting on him, and John's getting the camera going.
The camera set up perfect, man.
And And we had all the time. He's just kind of lingering around with those does right on this ridge top below us. And
it's like what, 500, 450?
He was, 450.
Yeah.
Was what the shot ended up being. And so I'm like trying to get on him, like, shoot, this pine, this little tree in front of me is blocking my view. And John's like, hold on, I'll get it. So John bombs off real quick.
I forgot about that.
Bends this tree over to get it out of my way, and then runs back up. He's like, is that good? I was like, dude, perfect. Thank you. And so I get on the deer, dial in for the shot. And my first shot I sent high.
Yeah, it was just a little high.
Just a little high. And so I'm like, okay, did I not, take into consideration the elevation we're at? Is that why it sailed a little higher? I'm like, oh shoot, I don't know. Because everything felt super good on that first shot. And the doe scattered, but he didn't, which was a miracle. He was just kind of like, ooh, what happened? So I make a quick adjustment, and he's walking off, and I sent another one and just drilled him. I mean, he went 10 feet and piled over. It was a great shot. I was very proud of that.
You should be. That was incredible.
And so he's down, man, and we were just fired up because we were high country, found a buck and made the shot, good shot. And now we're like, okay.
Now the work begins.
Now we got to figure out how to do this. So he's 450 yards away from us, but like 600 feet of elevation loss.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, cool. Thankfully,
steep.
But thankfully he died right on that little ridge top right there. Yep. If he would have went down even further, oh man. So we get down to him, super fired up, get him all taken care of and packed up, and we're like, okay, how are we getting out of here? Do we want to go down to
the river.
Yeah.
Cross
and
the river.
then try and there's no trail down there that we know of.
But on the other side
there was. And I'm like, okay, do we go down there and then hit the trail? And then we're looking at where that trail goes. I'm like, man, this is going to add hours and hours onto our trip.
Yep.
And then we're looking back up to where we shot them from, and we're like, that's steep.
And mind you, it's a blizzard at this point.
Now
and we don't have our yak tracks.
Yep, left those down at camp.
So that really sucked.
Yeah. So and we're heavy, you know, we're loaded up with deer.
Yeah.
Not too bad because we went up light because it was just a day hunt. So we're like, well, let's just suck it up and go straight back up, because once we get up there after this, you know, we just 450 yards of the friggin' ground being right in front of your face.
Oh my gosh, dude.
But once it's done, then we can hop on that trail that takes us down and back. So we're like, okay, let's just do it.
Yep.
And man, we slipped and fumbled our way back up to the top.
That was rough, man.
That was brutal.
At one point, Austin, I have it on video. Austin's like, dude, when I get to the top, I'm going to share this Snickers in my pocket with you.
Snickers in the pocket.
No, it was a Milky Way.
It was a Milky Way.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Oh,
dude. Yeah. So when we got to the top, it's just blizz. It's a snowstorm. It's beautiful. We're sucking. Man. We're up, but we're just pumped the entire time.
Because it's everything you want in a high country mule deer hunt, right? Like,
it was perfect.
Snow coming down. Beautiful country.
Yeah. It was perfect.
Hard work. Man.
Dude, it was amazing. And now we're up there, and then I think the boys said somebody sent an inReach message to you saying that's raining. Mm-hmm. And we're like, oh shoot, it's snowing up here, and now we're gonna get wet, you know, because we're gonna be dropping soon. And I think it took us. Oh gosh, dude, that hike down was brutal, bro. My feet were broken for sure, dude. Like, it was horrible. Yeah,
after everything we had done up to that point, and now this, like, going and. Obviously, it wasn't as hard work going down, right?
It's just the joints, man.
It's just the joints. Yeah. And like your knees, your toes are getting slammed into into the box of your boots the whole time.
Yep. I'd rather use my leg muscles and my lungs all day than dealing with joint and toe pain and feet pain all day.
But we finally get down to flat ground.
Dude, that was the worst part, I think.
Yeah.
When we saw the lights at the very end.
And it's just a mind.
It was a mind game the whole time, dude.
Because you're just like looking at the lights of camp,
go?
And it's just not getting any closer.
No, it never did. Until we got there.
Like, oh.
Dude, that was 3.5 hours, man, of moving.
Yeah. Just straight moving. Yeah. Because we're like, we're just going to get back. You know, we took a couple like 5-minute breaks.
Yeah.
And just kept barreling down towards camp, and we finally get down there and hung everything up, and man,
we're dead,
dude.
We got a fire going.
Yeah.
And man, and we had those peach cobblers.
The peach cobbler peak meal.
Gosh, dude, I tell you what, if you want a good peak meal, you need the peach cobbler.
That is the perfect post kill.
It is,
because it's just
you can't beat it.
You can't beat it, dude. It
Seriously,
just picks you up. You're like, oh, this is so good,
man. So we had a great time around the fire. Told Lucas and Forrest our entire story, how it went. Man, it was awesome. And then the next morning, like, let's have a nice slow morning. You know, have some good coffee. And the best part about this, where we were, a half mile away.
Yeah,
the hot springs.
Oh yeah.
So
hot springs all over in the Frank Church. Dude, they're all over in there.
Yeah, everywhere. Natural, beautiful hot springs. Yeah. So that next morning we had slow morning coffee, and then we decided, like, you know what, our bodies are really done, especially after that hunt. Yeah, we did a little reset. We'll do an afternoon hunt because I still have to fill my tag.
Yep.
And so we went and spent that morning at the hot springs, and oh, dude, it was glorious, bro. I felt so refreshed.
Yeah.
And then we went out, and I'm like, got an afternoon hunt. I'm like, we got to go find me a buck. But I'm like, at this point, I'm like, dude, I can't climb to the top of a ridge today.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
If we find one, things might change.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure.
But yeah, we decided to go to a whole new area that we haven't been yet.
Yeah. And, we set off downriver again and kind of climbed up a little bit to get a good vantage point. We're just kind of looking at flats along the river, and I
was pretty discouraged at this point because I'm like, we only have like 2 more days.
Yeah.
And I'm like, God, really, like that one I wanted to shoot that I didn't get a shot off on. I'm like, that's the buck I was looking for. I'm like, gosh dang it. But I mean, the whole thing, what made it was our hunt yesterday with you. Yeah. That was the entire trip. I'm like, if I went away without anything, no tags filled, so be it. Like the entire hunt with you, man, that experience you can't beat it.
Oh yeah.
But then luckily, dude, like thankfully I should say, you freaking glassed me up a buck.
Yeah, dude.
You found me a buck.
I was like, I saw some butts, and I'm like, there's a deer. And then I'm looking, there's a buck. And got you on them. And you're like, let's go get them.
Let's get them.
And yeah, we motored off over there and got ourselves into a good vantage point. Another great, comfortable shooting position.
So nice.
250?
Yeah, it was right around there. It wasn't a far shot. Yeah.
250, 300. Yeah.
Yeah.
And man, dude, you absolutely demolished that thing. I mean, beautiful shot.
300 destroyed it.
300 BRC is with those. You're using the
ELDX.
ELDXs, yeah. That.
I hit
great shot placement, a little far forward.
Yeah.
Hit the shoulders.
Dog meat.
Turn them into ground meat pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we go over there, worked up your deer.
Yep.
Hiked back. Man.
That was a beautiful night.
Yeah. That was awesome.
And then the next morning, this is where the game warden flew in. Remember that was
yeah.
Yeah, dude.
We had some learning experiences there. Like, game warden flew in, was checking deer at the meat pole and stuff where people are hanging meat and making sure everyone's doing the right thing, right? And we all had tags, but he's checking, make sure you had all quarters, everything was there, and I think the one quarter, and we didn't know this, right? That's on us for not reading enough into it. But I always thought, right, that the tag had to be affixed to the antlers, or just affixed to the deer,
right.
And that's how it always was where we came from, And so again, that's on us, and the tag is actually supposed to be affixed to the meat, so to one of the quarters. And so that was one thing they're like, hey guys, you need to do this. And then the proof of sex.
Oh yeah.
I forgot to leave proof of sex on the deer. Again, which is my bad. Mm-hmm. But they were great. And the warden was awesome, man. He was like, hey, you guys are doing the right thing. You just little things that you got to be aware of. And
super nice guy, man.
Yeah, super nice. So yeah, game warden comes, checks us all out, and we're all good. And just got a little education there, which is great. And then we went out hunting, right? No, or was that our last day?
That was one of our last days. Then we had to go get Forrest the buck.
Yeah. So we took off, and John and I are like, hey man, these guys should just go out.
I know, like, you guys can do this.
We were like, I just want
to
spend my day in the hot springs, relax, get everything packed up, ready to go. But they're like, okay, we got to go find Forrest buck, right?
Yeah.
So we take off with them, go look at some areas. We didn't turn anything up, and we're on our way back. And of course, we're like, John and I are like, our headspace is like we're on our way back, and so we are just hauling.
Yep.
We're getting there. I want to offload my stuff, and I want to get in the hot springs.
Yep.
And sure enough, like it was either Luke or Forrest was like stopped us.
Yeah.
And there's a buck there, and beautiful buck. I mean, a real nice. It was either a 3x3 or 4x4, good wide frame, like beautiful deer.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh. So you and him actually, they ended up spooking off, and we saw exactly where they went. And we're like, okay, if we get up onto this, or if you guys get up onto this, if he squirts out anywhere back behind that, like you should be able to see him.
Right.
And they get up there, and he's gone, like a ghost, man. He just vanished.
He was gone.
Yeah.
No idea where he went, dude.
Yeah. Had we been hunting our way back and not just speeding Gonzalez our way back to the hot springs, we probably would have come across him, and he would have got a shot off. But anyways, they get up top, and then they're looking around, and sure enough, there's a buck down below you guys that was bedded up, just a young forky. And last day, Forrest was like, I'm filling my tag. So he ends up killing that buck, and we all filled our tags, which is awesome. And then we all got back, and we were so ready.
You and I, they handled everything.
Yeah.
You and I just took out. We helped them a little bit.
Yeah.
And then we're like, all right, we're headed back to camp. We'll see you guys. We're gonna be at the hot springs.
We'll be at the hot springs. Yeah. We're like, we've already killed and broke down 2 deer. I had done 3 at this point, and I'm like, I think you guys can handle
You guys
this.
got this.
Yeah. And so, then we took off back to the camp and
that last night was a lot of fun, man.
It was good, man.
Yeah.
And then flew out. Yeah. Oddly enough, the next morning, we're getting ready to leave. We're packed up, just kind of waiting on the plane to come in. And sure enough, there's a little flat area that you can see from camp across the river. And there was that 4x4 over there.
That's right.
And
Yeah.
we're like, of course. Yeah,
of course.
But
Yeah.
that was fun, man, because he was all rutted up, chasing those does around. It was so cool.
Gosh, I cannot wait to go back next year, man.
Yeah.
We have a good game plan on how we're going to do it this next year too. So
yeah, I think going back in there, we're just going to change it up a little bit and kind of take a play from what other guys were doing. We did see, it seemed like a good game plan was to set up a really nice camp at the airstrip where you have all the nice amenities, you got water, you got everything, and then bring all your ultralight stuff to go pack out for a few nights.
Yeah.
So then you're back in there, you can go hunt hard, and then come back down.
Bougie little camp.
Yeah,
dude.
refit.
Yeah,
and then go back out.
Man. It makes sense.
And that's I think our plan for next year is when we go back in there to do the same thing. But yeah, the Frank Church, guys, is awesome. I highly recommend digging into that. It's hard. It's
rugged.
A lot of work. It's rugged.
Need good boots.
Good good equipment. But I'm so hooked on that, man. Like it's such a cool experience.
It's as pure as it gets, man. It really is.
Yeah, when you think about it, like a fly-in hunt, like every time I always thought about fly-in hunts, I'm thinking like Alaska or like some of these very, very remote areas. Like I was never thinking like in our state that you can have the same experience.
Right.
So it was so cool and something that we're going to do probably every other year.
I think so, man.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get your boy in there.
Oh, I know. Yeah. When Dallas is old enough.
He's carrying my pack. I keep telling him that, and he's going to carry it.
Yeah. You'll have 2 packs.
Yep. That's fine.
Front loaded, back loaded. You're just going to carry them all.
I guess just a little bit of information on the Frank. We might have already covered it, but the Frank Church is the largest wilderness in the lower 48.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it covers nearly 2.4 million acres.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
Complete wild country.
Yep. And and I think second is the Bob Marshall over, which is actually not far from here.
No.
I think it's about 3.5 hours east of here.
Yep.
I actually really want to check that area out too. That looks like a
awesome.
cool area in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bob Marshall will be sick. Definitely want to get in there.
But yeah, there's some fire towers out there. It's rad country, man.
It is.
It's a cool place.
And the cool thing about it is you can make it what you want, right? Like if you want to go make it into a deep backcountry hunt where, you fly in and spike out immediately and spend all your time out there, you can do that. If you want to, have a little more chill experience and just set up at the airstrip and kind of hunt around the airstrip, you can do that. One thing we struggled with our stove is that the wood, right? Like
that's right. Yeah,
we were trying.
Good point.
All we had was like sagebrush to burn. There wasn't a lot of good wood in there to burn, so that's something to think about if you're going to go in there. Having good gear, like obviously you want to pack light, so having good quality gear that's going to last you your whole trip.
Yep.
And yeah, I think I'm a big fan of when I pack my hydrated or like when I pack my meals on a hunt like that, I use a gallon size bag. I put everything that I'm going to eat that day in 1 gallon size bag.
Yeah.
And then and I had them all labeled day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, or whatever. That's a good way to do it. Keep everything together and organized.
Yeah.
Good sleep system. John bought a brand
this is a funny
brand new
story.
sleeping bag to go in.
Yeah, I bought a 0 degree bag. My first expensive. I'm all about buying quality stuff now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm going to buy me the sleeping bag will last me the rest of my life, hopefully. And I think it was this is day 3, dude.
Yeah.
Day 4. And oh my gosh. I know we're getting over an hour now, but I wanted a funny story. Every morning in our tent, it was Austin and I in our gully tent, and then Lucas and them were in their other tent. But Austin and I forgot to bring the floor for our tent.
Yeah.
So every morning we'd wake up and everything was
soaking wet,
just soaked. So I wake up and I'm putting my sleeping bag near the fire and just let it dry out a little bit. And I actually moved my knee a certain way, and it barely touches the stove, and instant down. Feathers are coming out. I'm so thankful that you had a little bit of duct tape on you.
Patch material,
oh my gosh. Well, then I did it to my jacket too.
Your puffy jacket.
Gosh, dude, all my stuff got destroyed. I'm like, dude, I think you said it best. Like, everybody, Stone Glacier needs to give me stuff to test out.
Yeah, if it's, any company.
If it can survive a hunt with John,
it's going to hold up. Yeah, John's hard on his stuff. Yeah,
but yeah, man, I really enjoyed this talk. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we'll go into a little bit of the gear we use. So our tent was our Gali Absaroka, the 6-person, I believe.
It was 6, yep.
Yep. With the titanium stove. And then what pack were you running?
I was running the Stone Glacier, the 7,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was also running a Stone Glacier pack. I have my Eberly stock pack, and I just couldn't get everything in the big bag to make that pack work. So I ended up using the Stone Glacier. I think it was another 72 or 7,000. And that was great. Let's see. I was running some crispy boots. I was running the Thors. I usually don't run an insulated boot, even in the later seasons, because my feet run so hot.
Yeah, same.
But the problem is that with that, then when you stop and you're glassing, your feet get really cold. So like having some kind of cover for your boot, they make little insulated boot covers. Those work really well. But if you're the type of person that can run insulated boots, I would definitely have that on that. And high quality stuff.
Yeah, I was running the Hoffman boots, the Hoffman leather boots. They're out of Kellogg, Idaho, just over the pass from us.
Yep,
like 30 minutes away. So I really like those boots. Those ran really well. And then the Gators, running my Stone Glacier Gators. But yeah, I just ran all Stone Glacier for my clothing. And then Stone Glacier pack. I'm running Camel Fire trekking poles.
Yeah, dude.
My $20 trekking poles. They're still working, baby.
They work great. Yeah, good stuff. Let's see. I'm thinking of what rifle were we using?
We were using our Havoc. Was it the
Seekins?
Seekins
PH2.
Yeah.
Yep, and a 300 PRC. Great rifle. A little heavy, I would say, for that kind of hunt. Definitely, we're going to do some different rifles next year. A little lighter weight, more of a backcountry kind of rifle.
Yeah.
But it's nice that 300 PRC is such a big round, and having a heavier gun definitely helps with that, the recoil mitigation and everything. But yeah, so we were running those. I
think that's really it.
Yeah.
Nalgene bottle.
Yeah.
Say Nalgene bottle.
Oh, the Grail.
Dude, the Grail. Yeah.
The Grail has been a game changer.
That is the greatest water filtration system. I do like Sawyer bags, but the Grail, you cannot beat it, man.
It's because it fits right into your water bottle pouch. You can, honestly, it filters so quickly.
So quick.
So if you need to fill up your Camelback or whatever, you can just pump out a bunch of water.
Yeah, I think I had to do like 6 to 7 to fill up my 3 liter.
But it goes quick,
Super quick.
Whereas like I think those Sawyer bags and the drip system work really well if you've got camp and you just like go fill up a dirty bag and just having it flow into a clean bag while you're at camp. You can do that too. The MSR pump is a good one. I think Matt had that on our sheep hunt, and that worked really well because it came with a little top that you could screw right on the top of an Nalgene and just pump water into it.
But yeah, other than that, man, the fire starter, you got to have that pyro putty, pyro putty and a flint or a lighter. Yeah, you're good. You'll get his fire going real quick.
Yeah, and it was a huge learning curve for us with the stove. That was the first time we've ever used a stove in a tent, and just trying to keep it going. I mean, we would get it ripping hot in there, and then it would die so fast.
Like
and
5 minutes. Like
that wood just wouldn't. It just burned hot and quick, and that was it.
And we didn't have any like oak out there or anything.
No, there's no
no hardwood,
hardwoods, nothing. Yeah. But yeah, so if you guys have ever thought about hunting in the Frank Church, look into it. It is a wonderful experience that you can do. And there's great bear hunting in there. There's deer hunting in there. People get elk tags in there. Elk tags a little harder in that area, from what I understand, just because there's not a high density of them. But we found a really nice bull up in there. I mean, he had probably like 40 cows with him.
He had a ton of cows with him. And
he was at the top. He was way up there, but
yeah, I'm not going that far. Not that day.
Not that day.
Maybe another day.
Yeah. It's other than that, if you guys have any questions or are interested to learn more about the Frank Church and what it's like to hunt in there, reach out to us.
Yeah.
You can send us an email. Our information's will be down in the show notes.
Yep.
But
yeah. And if you got any questions about making the move here to North Idaho, reach out. We get people like you every single day reaching out to us. So don't feel afraid to give us a call, shoot us an email or text. So,
yeah. And on that note, we're at about an hour and 15 minutes or so. And nice. I think we'll wrap it up and we'll see you guys on the next one.
No, we'll see you on the
next ridge.
Yeah, baby.
We'll see you on the next ridge. All right. Well, thanks for listening. If you guys enjoyed it, like it, subscribe to our channel. We've got a YouTube channel too coming out where we're going to put a lot of this stuff out there. And it'll be pretty much just outdoor content here in North Idaho.
Yeah, our first video will be on this hunt.
Yeah, you guys will kind of see a little bit of that hunt on the YouTube channel. Unfortunately, we lost a lot of the footage. But it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Technology and such. So, yeah, but we're excited to keep this journey going and have some good talks with you. Like I said, we're gonna talk about everything from hunting, skiing, fishing, bird hunting,
to our outdoor lifestyle,
anything outdoors in the area.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, thanks for listening, guys.